Internet, welcome back. It's a lot of stuff has happened since we chatted last on the YouTube or whatever you're watching this on. Probably YouTube, because I usually don't post this other stuff on other social stuff. Anyway, I need to take a seat. We're gonna have a little chat about this car because it's kind of taking the world by storm if you haven't noticed. So I want to first of all thank a lot of you guys for subscribing. I just did it to share this little project I got going on because I never thought it would take off as much as it was, or people would take a liking to it. Most people. So what you need to do now is understand that if any of you guys that aren't like a fan of it, whatever, don't really care. I love the one comment was like, well, you could just buy a Mustang. Well, I couldn't. Not a wrecked one. I couldn't even buy a wrecked 15 and up, like base model V6 or EcoBoost for under $5,000. This car I bought salvage, so I knew it was gonna be a a total track car. And hindsight, I should have fixed the car and when it was front wheel drive and everything and got it registered, because this would be badass driving the streets. It is like 97% a track car. It doesn't, well, granted, I'm in the Wild West, like I said, so it doesn't have turn signals. It has brake lights, amber lights, headlights work, wiper even works, just one, because the other one got replaced with a kill switch. But it would be a cool little street car. But I kind of fucked up, to be honest, not fixing it prior to doing all the swap and stuff. A lot of guys, one of my favorite ones were, oh, that must have cost thousands of dollars. Well, if I had a shop to do this, it would be a crazy amount of money. Now, I don't have a whole lot of money into the car. I bought it through Copart as just a member, not a business, for $3,500. It was a 2016, still a 2016. The year hasn't changed. And it had like 34,000 miles on it. I put a lot of the trim, the dash, it still smells like a new car in there. Even all the cage work and fab work, that stuff is still emitting all like the fumes that new cars, smell like. So, the engine, a lot of people ask, we're still on the cost of things. The engine I got for $4,500. The Gen 2 with like now 30,000 miles. It'll be stupid reliable. Transmission I got a steel for like $1,400. That whole rear end, subframe, diff, suspension, brakes, shipped to my door from the parts farm was $600. $600. Granted, shitty gear ratio, and it had 315s, as you know from last episode. Cost me what, $450, I think, to get a whole center section to get it back up to a little more performance level. So that's what we got going on. So I'm going to switch it to the other side because I'm sick of talking to the camera and you're probably sick of seeing my face. Okay, so I haven't done a whole lot of work. That video that dropped with the burnout and whatever, we had to go all the way to Mexico and film that. And I found a bunch of trim pieces. I actually got this to kind of look decent. Found this nice little bezel here. Can still see all the reservoirs. And it's looking pretty nice. I got this all figured out in the back. Still looking for seats. Probably just gonna end up putting one back here because I think with one small race seat, there'll be room to have someone spread eagle back there. And it'll save me some frog skin so I don't have to spend another $1,000 on seats. So in a couple of days, today's Wednesday, on Saturday, my buddy Alex and Max coming over to get this pig aligned because next week we're bringing it to the track, bringing it to Bondurant. They got a skid pad and road course event going on there, so that'll be perfect to get this thing shook down. Skid pad, get the feel for the car, see what it drives like in a really low risk area, and then hopefully graduate to the road course where I can really let her eat. Now, another thing I really liked was when haters said, it doesn't have traction, blah, blah, blah. Like, just, I love shit talkers. It's so funny how uneducated people are. This car, I didn't expect to come around that quick. Used a little handbrake, came on the gas. This thing acted like a big pendulum, and without it even being aligned in front, you know, and going to full lock, the front end just stuck. I didn't even use the foot brake when I was doing that burnout. The car just kind of stuck. So I was a little concerned about that because I was dealing with some negative Ackerman issues only at full lock. So until I actually get it on a skid pad to feel what it does, and after a good alignment, we'll see what's going on. I don't know why I'm opening the hood, but I figured you'd take a gander at this beauty. So, yeah. Getting aligned in a couple days, and that's about it for now. I do have to make, it just so happens I have a K-member here. Same one I'm using, not this exact one, in the Fusion. This piece here is missing on the Fusion currently. Exhaust on the driver's side comes like down right here, so I'm probably gonna bend up something fancy there to make my own brace, and it'll kind of protect the exhaust and stuff in that area. And all you S197 guys, kind of developing some arms. So stay tuned for that. I was gonna start on these, but it looks like Alex just showed up to do some alignment things. Yeah. I brought some toys over. I'm gonna check the bump steer on the front first. And what I'm gonna do, instead of messing with the coilovers, I'm gonna take the springs out of some stock struts. While he sets this up, I have no idea. He has just got this up. Interesting to see how it works. What's that?
Turn plates.
More goodies.
Other people buy parts for their cars. Just my stupid tools. It's like a little quarter pump. Stop.
This is measuring bump steer. And then that dial indicator is going to show us like the amount.
Basically, you just, zero out. At, say, ride height 0, which right now we're at full droop. And then we'll stroke it up, and you go, half inch, see what your change was, go another half inch, see what your change is, and kind of plot it out and see what your curve looks like.
Gotcha.
And then you can change your tie rod height and make it notch.
We have that ability.
Yeah.
Okay, so we found out I had a terrible bump steer to begin with, because there's no good way to measure that unless you got this gadget Alex has. And we got it pretty damn good within a couple shots, so I'm gonna put the coil back in and do the same thing on the other side as far as spacing on the tie rod. I did raise it. So what are we doing now though?
What are we doing now?
Yeah, what's going on here?
We have turn plates down here, so I can measure what steering angle we're at, and we're going to basically check your caster. We don't really have provisions to adjust it.
Nope, we don't.
The way the suspension is designed, but at least we'll know if they're staying side to side and what you're working on.
Sweet. So we're going to take the difference of that camber after you zero it and then straighten it out, or after we straighten it out.
So we've gone 20 degrees to one side, zero this out, then we're going to go full 40 degrees, so past 0, and then 20 degrees to the right. And
Gotcha.
then you're able to read directly on here how many degrees of casting.
So we got to swing now?
Yep. So swing to the right.
Tell me when.
So it's past 0, that's 5, 10, 15. A little more, a little more. Stop. So now you just gotta level this right here, make sure it's.
All right, I don't want to be braggadocious, but I never adjusted the caster and camber besides what I thought it might be okay at, and I think we were pretty happy with the results. So I think we're just gonna look at the tow now. Yeah, we should turn the fans off when recording, but
stable. The other string's like blowing in the wind.
Usually takes a couple times. There it is. Get some action going.
Yeah, when you're off throttle idling.
Sounds like it'll get sideways.
Yeah. Woo. Did it feel like, because you were kind of breaking traction, did it feel like the car was stepping out, or was just blowing the tires off?
A little bit of both. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
All right. Test drive went well. I mean, as well as we can on the street. So what'd you think, Alex? Be gentle.
Yes, no problems breaking the tires loose. Let's start with that. And it's super loud.
Yeah, it's not quiet.
It's awesome.
All right, so it's been a day, and today's Saturday, so next Saturday, August 24th, we're taking this car out to Bondurant, and Go Fast is having a drift event out there for the first time in a couple years using the skid pad and West Track configuration. So we're gonna give this thing a real shakedown. Feels a lot better with the alignment. So thanks again, Alex. And you're probably still in your truck back there. All right, so to kind of recap, the things we found out with the alignment before we dial it in was the rear had a lot of toe out. So that's probably why it felt super squirrely. It came around really quick on that burnout video in the last episode. And the front had a lot of bump steer within the 2.5, 3 inches of travel. There was like a 1/2 inch of toe in total, so, or on each side actually. So even though you're not going to see that much travel with this sort of suspension, that's quite a bit. So we actually dialed it in fairly easy with that bump steer gauge that Alex had, and got it down to like maybe a 1/16 of an inch within, 2 inches of travel. So it went really well, and got the rear dialed in. We got, I think, a little over a 1/4 toe in, so it'll be really grippy. And after the test drive that we did, it felt a lot more grippier in the rear, despite having like no weight back there. So stick around, and we'll probably have footage next time of when we actually drift this thing at Bondurant. And we got to measure camber and caster. Camber was about 7 degrees in the front, and caster was 3 degrees on each side. So have to feed the wheel a little bit in transitions, but I'm glad it's about where I thought it was going to be.